Hi, lovelies. Hello. Welcome to the Tired Coach. Nope, only kidding. Well, I'm tired. But I did promise to jump in doing some Sleep 101 for you ladies. So give me a hashtag live if you're here live at 17 minutes past 5 on a Friday. It's not quite my normal Friday night live. So if you give a hashtag live below if you're here below, hashtag replay if you are watching me later. Oh God, eyebrows are ridiculous. Right, so sleep, very important. Now, I put a little post up yesterday to see who is suffering from lack of sleep, because I have noticed over the past week my sleep is ridiculous. I've been waking up at 3:30, not being able to go back to sleep. And I figured that for somebody that normally sleeps very well, if it's happening to me, it must be happening to others. So thought we could all benefit from a little bit of sleep training. Not in the Gina Ford way of controlled crying, but just in a little bit of help. So I've taken some notes. Here we go. Got some notes, so I'm going to rattle through them all. So, sleep. Other than making us refreshed and alert and helping to repair lots of things, cells, muscles, our brain needs a bit of a break. There's many reasons why we might not be getting enough sleep. So, physical. So if we're in pain, if we have had too much food, if we've had too much alcohol, if we did too much caffeine, if we did nicotine, any of those things can stop us from staying asleep. They can stop us from falling asleep. And also we know psychological as well. So stress and anxiety, which I suspect probably is what's going on with me, because nothing really else has changed. Although in saying that, Thursday night, I did have wine. Don't normally have wine on a Thursday night. Maybe that was the problem. So yes, all of these things do impact our quality and quantity of sleep. So you'd notice, if you are somebody that is normally quite a good sleeper, you will notice after a few days if you're having poor quality sleep or not enough. It will be quite noticeable. If you are somebody that doesn't normally get a lot of sleep, you get to a point where you think it's the norm, you feel it's the norm, but in actual fact your body and brain is suffering, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that as well. So there's a number of huge factors the impacts of not getting enough sleep. So one of the big ones just now that I wanted to call out was around your immune system. So sleep as a thing is very hormonal in its nature. It impacts lots of different hormones. But from an immune system point of view, when you don't have enough sleep, there's a type of protein in your body called a cytokine. So if you don't get enough sleep, you don't produce as much of that. Now that is a type of protein that targets infection and inflammation, which creates an immune response. So if you're not sleeping enough, you will not produce enough of these little proteins, which means that you're not going to be able to fight bugs, inflammation, viruses as well. Okay, so one of the bits of research that I called out was that if you are somebody that suffers from chronic sleep loss, the flu vaccine is less effective, which I did not know that. So what we're dealing with just now in the world, this coronavirus, is not the flu, and we've also obviously not had a vaccine for it, but it's just interesting to call out that let's get as much sleep as we can to protect our immune systems. Okay, so the other side effect that we can also see that's very appropriate, I think, for this group and for what I do, is that lack of sleep does really inhibit losing weight. Like really, really, really does inhibit losing weight. And also, lack of sleep doesn't make you put on weight in itself, but lack of sleep can cause you to eat more. And the reason for that is because there's a couple of hormones, there's leptin and ghrelin, and they are in control of our appetite and our hunger levels. So if they are out of whack, you will feel hungrier, which will then cause you to eat more, which will then cause you to gain weight. But the other side, the other hormone that we need to be aware of is around cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So if you do not get enough sleep, you're effectively putting your body under stress. Your body doesn't know if it's under stress from lack of sleep or whether it's getting chased by bears. Doesn't know. It's unlikely that you're going to get chased by bears. But, you know, I don't know where you live. So if your body doesn't know what is causing the stress, it's going to be so focused on keeping you functioning. Like, it'll be so focused on keeping your brain working well, keeping your respiratory system working well. It doesn't give a fuck. I have to whisper because my child is playing Nerf guns in the hallway, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't care what your metabolism's doing. Much the same as it doesn't care what your hair's doing, what your face is doing, what your skin's doing. So you'll find if you're not sleeping properly, like your skin goes to pot, your nails start cracking, your eyes, your saggy eyes here, you know. So that's another reason why hormonally lack of sleep is a really bad place to be. Now, in terms of what to do to fix it, first of all, limit the amount of stress that you're under. Now, you cannot control the situation. You cannot control what is going on round about us with this coronavirus. You cannot control what your company is doing with your job. You cannot control various factors, but there are some things within your control, like you are in control of how much TV you watch, you're in control of how much what time you go to bed, you're in control of what your sleep routine looks like, you're in control about when you switch your computer off, you know, you're in control of how much you're watching on Netflix. So use the things within your control to make it better for you to sleep. So sometimes, very often, what I find when I'm working with clients, that lack of sleep isn't actually anything stress related. It's more to do with where our priorities are. So a lot of people, say for example, you work all day, you come home, and then you're on the go getting dinners and maybe need to catch up on some emails. You don't finish all of that till say 9 o'clock. You do want to have some chill out time, but a lot of people switch on the TV till midnight, 1 o'clock, and then go to bed. You're in control of that. You can actually choose to switch off the TV earlier and go to sleep earlier, you know, so it's all about your priorities. So sleep, when we are in times of stress, we need to try and prioritise our sleep. So ways to do that is around being consistent. So keeping a consistent wake up time, consistent bedtime. So at weekends, we often have a lie-in. And if you do, I'm very lucky because I'm still now body clocked awake at 6:30 on a weekend. But, you know, getting up at your normal time at weekends is very important. Trying to go to bed at the same time, very important. And any disruption to that is going to throw you off whack. Light. As we get older, we become more sensitive to light. Now, personally, I love to sleep in a cave-like environment with no light and no noise. However, hubby, he could sleep with all the street lights shining in the window and have no care. I can't do that. But try and keep your room as dark as possible, because that tells your body clock to shut down and time to go to sleep. That makes it easier. So if you do have a street light outside your bedroom window, see if you can invest in a blackout blind. If you're a mum, you might remember when your kids were younger, you might use tinfoil to block out any bits of light. I know that may have happened at a log cabin once, because my child also likes to sleep in a cave. Noise, hugely important. So one big good tip is, if you live in a noisy street, or you're in quite a noisy environment, a white noise app through your phone at different part of the room from you is actually it can drown you out, and that sends you to sleep. And if you had a colicky baby, hands up if you had a colicky baby, white noise was a godsend, as was the hairdryer. My electricity bill was horrific, and also running the bath, high speed, also worked. So that replicates for humans as well. And also implementation of a sleep routine, hugely important. So if you are having trouble sleep, you know, take half an hour off the end of your night watching TV. Get a journal, just get a notebook and bullet point the things that are troubling you. Get them down on paper. If they're down on paper, they are the paper's problem until tomorrow. What is troubling you? How's your day been? You know, just some quick and dirty bullets. And also keep a notebook beside your bed, so that if you do wake up with an idea that is going to make that project go live, or is going to solve that patient's problem, or you know, it's going to fix that process that's been bugging you. Then you can get it down the paper and it's sorted. You don't need to lie awake fretting about it. So switch off the TV, switch off the computer, switch off the phone well before you need to go to bed. You know, and also arguments. Don't argue with your partner if you've got one at night. It stresses you out. So get yourself a nice bath or shower with some nice oils or one of those. I've got one of those aromatherapy diffuser things, which is really nice. And that has helped a lot. Putting lavender in that for me really, really helps. Yes, I am a granny at heart. I love my lavender. Keeping your room cool, not too hot, not too cold. So between 18 and 22 degrees. Avoid coffee. Now, a lot of people are still sipping coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and tea. Stop at lunchtime. So it might not be forever, but just stop any caffeinated drinks at lunchtime and see if it makes any difference. Switch to decaf. I do not care, but anything after lunchtime, and just test and learn. It's all an experiment. Exercise. So exercise does help sleep, and especially just now where we're maybe not as active in our day-to-day lives, it is important to be exercising where you can. It's going to not only help tire you out for sleep, but it also helps your sleep quality as well. But on the flip side, don't go for a mad HIIT workout at 9:30 at night, unless you are going to bed at 12 and not getting up until 8. So yes, exercise does help. Keep your bedroom only for sleeping or sexy time. Or Facebook Lives. You know, that's my sexy time. But yeah, keep your bedroom only for those things. And, you know, don't work in your bedroom. What else would you be doing? Don't know. Facebook Lives. Eating too late at night and eating foods that are too rich. So if you cannot have your dinner until, say, 9 o'clock or whatever because you're working, then something like scrambled egg, omelette, yogurt, soups, like a big beef curry at 9 o'clock at night with rice is not going to be conducive to a good night's sleep. And the biggest tip, and this does really work for me, and it sounds counterintuitive, but if you've been lying awake for 10, 15, 20 minutes and you cannot get back to sleep, get up, get out the room, go somewhere dark and calm and read a book, and you'll start to feel drowsy again. And that really does work for me. So don't just lie there. Don't look at your phone. The phone has to be gone. Be gone, phone. And yeah, that's it. So as I'm just trying to scroll through the comments to see if anybody's got any hints or tips. So I would love you guys to put your own hints and tips down below to help other people. One thing I will say is alcohol it might make us feel drowsy and sleepy and make us go to sleep really quickly, but it's the single biggest thing for making us wake up through the night or wake up early and not feel rested. So bear that in mind. I seem to come on here every Friday and do a Facebook Live and say something really bad about alcohol. Shames. So yeah. Biggest tips for me, journaling for sure. End of day bullets. Don't journal the Dear Diary. Just some bullet points. Get all the worries out your head. The scent, the lavender scent really helps for me. A dark room and reading a book. Not a workbook, not a report, an actual trashy novel works best for me. Give me your tips below, ladies. Have an awesome Friday. I am away to make burritos now. On the request of Archie. Oh, Katie. Fabulous. Headspace app. The free version or the paid version, either are really, really good. Hot bath, sleep spray and journal help for Claire. Good. All of these tips. So get them down below because, I mean, you're helping others to help themselves. Have an awesome weekend, guys. Thank you for all the engagement this week. It's been really helpful. It's been tough for us all. And I am just so thrilled to be able to support people and help people where I can, but you guys help me more than you will ever know, so thank you so much. Peace out, my lovelies. I'll speak to you real soon. Bye bye.